What's up, guys? So today is my 3-year anniversary of playing Marvel Strike Force, and today we're going to do a video that I do every year on the anniversary, an account tour. So we're going to take a look at how many characters do I have at 7 red star, how many characters do I have at ISO level 5. We're going to find out together who my first 5 characters are going to be at gear tier 15, and I'm going to disclose how much I've spent on the game thus far. So let's get into it. Today we are taking a look at my account. Basically, it's an account tour. You can see here from the achievements, this is day 1095 of playing Marvel Strike Force. You may be wondering, how's it possibly been playing for 3 years? I have been playing since the soft launch, but if you started the day the game came out, you will not be at 3 years yet. So you can see from my achievements here, I only have 701 rank ups, so still plenty more rank ups to do. I haven't even done 5,000 arena battles. I probably could have already been at 5,000 arena battles. I've been slacking on my arena a little bit lately. As you'll see when we get to my roster, by the way, I have every character unlocked that you can currently have as of today, except for Dr. Doom. If you notice that some of these numbers don't line up with you and you're in the same boat, characters have had their tags changed. So like the Collect 40 tech characters, Cable used to be tech. So even if you have every character unlocked except Dr. Doom, you may have lower score on this achievement and a couple of the others. I believe Wolverine used to be bio as well. Yeah, these are soft launch achievement scores here basically because some characters had their tags changed. I have not bothered to complete Dark Dimension 2 all the times. Every once in a while I do a speed run. So I just did a speed run the other day. I haven't done Dark Dimension 4 yet. No one's completed it as of the recording of this video. I've only equipped 21 of the level 5 ISO 8 crystals. So that's where we're at for achievements. We'll take a look at my PID here. I'm going to reveal the amount that I've spent on this game at the end of this video. I have spent a lot. So if you're looking at these numbers and being like, man, I work my butt off when I play this game and I'm not even close to those numbers. Part of this is a very, very irresponsible amount of spending that pretty much none of you should also be at. However, it's also 3 years of literally not missing a day. With very few exceptions, I have been as efficient as possible. I claim pretty much every single free energy. I look at all my shop refreshes. Like, this roster has definitely had 3 years of very meticulous playing and resource management gone into it as well. So this is a combination of just relentless play and egregious spending. So that's why you see a lot of the numbers that you see here. 12,256,470 collection power. Not too shabby. Just hit 12 mil the other day, and then today I got a nice bump because I took a bunch of people to gear tier 15, which we'll talk about. My strongest team power, which I've never really worried about, is 739,935, which I'm pretty sure I have people in my top 5 right now that aren't even level 80, so I could bump that up. I've never worried about STP. 25 war MVPs. I'd like some more than that. Again, I have 153 characters collected, which is the most you can have besides Dr. Doom right now, and since no one has Dr. Doom, technically I'm tied for the most you can have. 137 of those characters are 7 gold star, which we'll get to. I've been arena rank 1. Apparently I'm ranked 62 as of right now. Normally I'm somewhere in the top 20, so I'll get that fixed. I was doing real-time arena all day today. I took the last blitz off as well, so that's where you get that. But I do have 34,249 blitz wins, which is a heck of a lot of blitz wins, but it's also a heck of a lot less than I could have because I haven't blitzed seriously in like 6 months to a year, with the exception of like the occasional new character blitz, one of the only times that I actually do a lot of blitz matches. All right, we'll check the leaderboards here. My collection power puts me at the rank 388 spot, so there are 387 players with a higher total collection power than me. But it's fascinating to me, every year that I do this, I get bumped farther and farther down. And it's not because I play any less, it's because just more and more people join the game and outspend to get past me, which kind of blows my mind, but more power to them, keeping the game alive. Good on you, Krakens. As far as my alliance, take a look here. And my alliance is the rank 44 alliance in the game. So big shout out to Fantastic 24, Khasino Elite. Excellent group of guys, very hardworking. And we'll take a look at strongest team. And as far as strongest team power, I'm actually the rank 177th player. I'm pretty sure I could get quite a bit higher if I tried, which is interesting, but yeah, not bad. Where I'm at. All right, so now I'm just going to give you some stats real quick on the roster to answer some questions. As far as characters that I have at 7 red star, I have 5 characters at 7 red star. You can see 3 of them right here and a 4th one right here. If you're wondering where is the 5th one, she is actually hiding down here. I do not have the 7th gold star on She-Hulk, but I actually do have her at 7 red star. So when I get that, she'll be up by the rest of them. Funny thing about She-Hulk, actually, I have pulled 7 red stars on her twice. My only 7 red star dupe, but even though I only have 5 characters at 7 red star, the game heard that and tried to sell me some red stars. No, thank you, Scopely. Even with only 5 characters at 7 red star, I pulled a dupe, and I have pulled 7 red star She-Hulk twice. So F in the chat, please. At least a couple of those came from normal red star orbs. A couple of those came from Elite 4s. And then I promoted Mr. Sinister when I finished DD3, and I promoted Black Bolt not too long ago. So there were 2 of them that I actually took to 7. As for how many characters do I have at 6 red star, 41 characters at 6 red star, for a grand total of 46 characters that are 6 red or higher. And then I have 83 characters at 5 red star, which brings me to only 23 characters at 4 red star. And then of course there's a single character that I have no red stars on, which is Ultron. As for how many characters on gold star, as I mentioned earlier, I have 137 characters at 7 gold star. I have everyone at least 5 gold as of right now. That's where we're at. As for how many characters I have at level 80, so I currently have 7 characters at level 80. As for ISO 8, I only have 4 characters at level 5 ISO 8 because I'm more focused on getting a lot of characters to level 2 ISO rather than getting a small group of characters to level 5 ISO. I do have 18 characters at level 4 ISO. So in total, I have 22 characters that are level 4 or higher. But yeah, as you'll see from my roster, a lot of the characters I use regularly, I'm just trying to get them to level 2 ISO. So most characters are at 2. And then I don't really do too many 3s. There's some 3s in there, but for the most part, I take them to 2. And then if I really want to get them even higher, I'll take them to 4. All right, so I'm just going to give a quick scroll through, and then I'm going to pull up the save squads, and we'll get a better look through. Here we go. That brings us to the bottom of the roster. I do get asked pretty often, who is your weakest character? I don't intentionally keep someone my weakest character, but it happens to be Hand Sorceress. To the save squads. My top team, my pride and joy, my Marauders with Emma Frost. I have 2 7 red star characters on this team, Mr. Sinister and Emma Frost, and I love them both dearly. So I took Mystique and Sabretooth along with Strife to gear tier 14 to support them. So behind them, I have the Symbiotes as the premier raid team. So it's basically the synergy team that makes up my arena team is the top one, and then the synergy team that makes up my raid team is just behind them, 593,000 power. Symbiotes are a ton of fun to use. They're all gear tier 14. They're all at least ISO level 4, so they're crushing it. We got the Black Order here, which they are currently the top team in the game, even though they're not my top team. Having them at 578,000 power means mine are more than strong enough for pretty much anything I need them for. We got the Inhumans right behind them, another top team in the game right now, 510,000 power. I haven't actually worked on the Inhumans that much, except for Black Bolt, obviously. I recently promoted Black Bolt to 7 red stars, so he's huge. And then Yo-Yo, of course, is, they're a power couple, so we got Yo-Yo behind him. And then everyone else is kind of hanging in there. If you're wondering why Quake is gear tier 13, Quake has been gear tier 13 since Dark Dimension 2. She was part of that run for me, so that's why she's there. Then we got X-Force, and man, I really love X-Force. I just recently got them all to 7 gold stars, so I'm ready for Doc Ock's legendary when he comes back around. I will probably eventually take them all to gear tier 14, but I knew I was trying to take Sinister to gear tier 15, so I was holding on to any orange mutant gear that I had. I did take up Negasonic because she's one of my favorite characters, as you guys all well know. I took up X23 because she's just awesome, good for so many different things, especially PvP, which is a game mode I really enjoy. And then I took up Cable also for PvP, but also knowing that they're part of one of the best war offense teams in the game. I tend to attack teams like the Emma Frost Marauders. They need to be pretty strong because people tend to have those teams pretty strong. Then we're taking a look at the X-Men. These teams are organized specifically with these lineups based on what I use for Blitz. So I actually always drop Wolverine for Beast, like anytime I'm doing anything in war with the X-Men. So this is just how I had them lined up for Blitz at the time. I do wish I could put even more into my X-Men. So I'm hoping that with the release of the Astonishing X-Men, I'll get some better excuses to power up my X-Men even more. I actually really like my Fantastic Four. I know a lot of people don't have their Fantastic Four built up that much. Yeah, it's because they're not a super critical, super essential team for anything other than really a trait restricted section of one of the campaigns. But She-Hulk makes them a very good team. And I have a very strong She-Hulk. So I got my Supernatural nice and high. Yeah, I like Supernatural. I got a 6 Red Star Elsa really early on when Red Stars came out. So I knew since I had a decent anchor for the team with the primary damage dealer that it was worth going in on. And then I just really like Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange's characters, so I made them pretty strong. I ended up taking Ghost Rider Gear Tier 14 for DD2, so that team is pretty dangerous. We got the Sinister Six with Doc Ock. And again, depending on what game mode, sometimes I'm dropping Goblin for Rhino. Only Doc Ock is decently strong right now, but I can't wait to get that 7th Gold Star on him, but they're hanging in there. Then we got the Wakandans. I've had the Wakandans this strong for a while. The only one of them that I took beyond Gear Tier 13 was Shuri. I needed someone for Global, and she did great there. But if you're wondering why I have these guys at Gear Tier 13, I was in the middle of upgrading several characters to Gear Tier 13 when they announced that they were going to start making Gear Tier 14 a thing. Had I known that, I wouldn't have taken them, but that's where they are, so whatever. Those are the Wakandans. On to Pimtech. They're a pretty new team. You can see I got the freshly Gear Tier 15 Ghost on here. Ghost is going to be joining me in DD4. Got the Asgardians. Quite like the Asgardians. They weren't the absolute top team when they got their rework at the time, so I wasn't able to... I didn't have the incentive to take them really high, but they're pretty strong. We got the Zemo Hydra team, which I've heard some people call the Zydra team. I love that name for him. I just threw Namor on there as the 5th because my Fantastic Four has She-Hulk and I needed somewhere for Namor. It's another turn 1 AoE. It works great with them. I got the Gear Tier 15 Zemo, who's doing most of the heavy lifting, and then the rest of the members of the team just need to be strong enough to be able to hang the Zemo, so that's where they're at. Then we got the non-minion Kree team here with Ultimus, Korath, Minerva. Captain Marvel is a really good addition to this team, but I'm using Captain Marvel to carry the Ronin and the Kree minions team, and so Vision works great here because Vision's tech, Minerva's tech, Cyborg's tech, Korath's tech. The only person who's not is my Gear Tier 14 Ultimus, who has plenty of health, blocks a lot. He doesn't even need the defense up. He's really tanky. He's not going to die first. So this is the Fury Shield team. I do have the Gear Tier 14 Trooper from DD3. A lot of people ask me, do you regret that? Which I would say, absolutely not. Trooper is a really fun character, and I like having him this big. It's made them a unbelievably reliable blitz team, and there's a lot of really fun war defenses you can make with a big Trooper. Moving on to the Young Avengers. I'm using Gamora as the 5th Young Avenger here. Again, Captain Marvel is definitely better, as is OG Spider-Man, but this was for Blitz, and the original 4 Young Avengers do plenty good enough job carrying the team that you can kind of use any 5th, especially a hero brawler 5th like Gamora, and that allows me to put OG Spider-Man and Captain Marvel in places where they are needed more. In particular, Captain Marvel as the 5th on the Young Avengers makes them a very good team. Do not underestimate them. I think people don't quite appreciate how good they are. They're very good. Moving on to the Wave 1 Avengers. I have Coulson here for Blitz. Coulson does have the Avenger tag, so he gets a lot of the perks on this team, and he provides some offense because they have really good sustain and speed and utility from Hawkeye. They just need some damage, and Coulson provides that. So Wave 1, super fun, still a very strong team. Power Armor's a team that I wish I could put more into. They're a little bit old news in Alliance War, but they're still one of the better Alliance War offense teams. I wish I could make them stronger, but I've been able to get by without having to make them stronger, so that's where we're at. I do have the Gear Tier 14 Falcon. Absolutely no regrets on that. He's come in super clutch for a lot of challenges and stuff. Falcon's great. I wish my mercenaries were stronger. They'd make a better war defense, but I do have the Gear Tier 14 Taskmaster. I did for PvP, and then Merc Lieutenant actually joined me for the city section of DD3. On to Brotherhood 2.0. Again, yet another team. A lot of fun to use. Very strong. Wish I could make them stronger, but haven't had the opportunity and haven't had a dire need, so that's where the Brotherhood's at. This is basically the leftovers of the Sinister Six. The Guardians are down here, and all I can really say is these days they deserve it. Guardians are just really not in a good spot right now. They're kind of old news. They're still very new player friendly for the Cosmic campaign and whatnot. Defenders, that's doubly true of. Defenders are just kind of irrelevant right now, and that's fine. That's why they're down here. Haven't really needed them. Then we got the aim team down here. This team's only down here because I never bothered to give a lot of gear to the aim minions or graviton. This is a scrap team. Hand sentry, still good at his job. Yondu, still good for steal and buffs. He's just kind of there, still a summon, so he stays busy, but the people doing the heavy lifting on this team are Storm, Beast, and Spider-Man. Then we got Red Skull and the Hydra minions, kind of the same story as AIM. Red Skull's good, so I powered him up, and then I just kind of made sure that the Hydra minions were strong enough to support him. But unlike Scientist Supreme, he's not gear tier 14, which is why they're down here. And then that brings us to Ronan and the Kree minions. And of course we have Captain Marvel, because the Ronan and the Kree minions these days are just very shaky. They don't really beat very many teams outside of like non-synergy, but as soon as you throw Captain Marvel on there, suddenly they're very solid, so that's what she's doing there. Ultron can carry pretty much anyone, so it's the 2 leftover aim minions and then the 2 leftover hand characters that are okay, besides Sentry, which is Elektra and Nobu. And then this is just a different team. This is a team that I recently made a video about. You may have seen it, but this is my fun real-time arena team for beating people without letting them take any turns. All right, now we're going to talk about the first 5 characters I am taking into Dark Dimension 4. And it's kind of a funny thing. It worked out really, really well for this video. I spent all day doing my real-time arena objectives that just rolled over for the week, so that I could get just the exact amount of the Gear Tier 15 minis that I need to promote Ghost to Gear Tier 15. And so it just so happens, as of my 3-year anniversary playing, today is also the day that I am able to enter Dark Dimension 4. So a lot of people have been asking, what is the first characters that you're going to be taking in? So as you can see, I have Mr. Sinister. I did him immediately. He's 7 red star. He's fully maxed. Then we have Thanos. He's an absolute no-brainer. I had 54 of the Mystic minis, so obviously we took in Thanos. I intentionally waited. I actually could have entered Dark Dimension 4 maybe a week ago with a much worse team, but I really wanted to wait for Ghost. Ghost is just going to be incredible in DD4, so I saved up, and today I was able to take Ghost to Gear Tier 15. And then finally, we have Baron Zemo. I was kind of torn between Zemo and Black Widow, because Black Widow will be better in Dark Dimension 4. But then once I'm done with Dark Dimension 4, Baron Zemo will be better outside of Dark Dimension 4. So ultimately I went with Zemo because he has more practical application once I'm done. So the question is, who is the 5th character? And as you know, my name is Khasino, and it's for good reason. I agreed to do something that's, well, a really bad idea. I made an agreement with chat that if there were sufficient donations, I would let someone in the chat decide who gets the 72 bio minis that I have. So it is either going to be Symbiote Spider-Man or Squirrel Girl. I am going to take one of them to Gear Tier 15 right now to be my 5th. And I don't know who it's going to be. So we're going to find out together. So, Courtney, who's heads, who's tails? Okay. I am ready. Yes! All right, it's going to be Symbiote Spider-Man. Whew. Bullet successfully dodged. All right, and now we've come to what's a lot of people's favorite part of the video, probably my least favorite part of the video, and that is disclosing what I have spent on the game. Once a year, I have to write into support and have them confirm for me just how many bad life choices I have made. And this year, I have made many, many bad life choices. It's been my worst year as far as life choices go. So, just to give you the history, what I spent in total in my first year, a grand total of $3,594.89. For my first 6 months, I was really trying to set the example for how to be pretty much free to play, a little bit of a dolphin. It's in the second half of the first year that the spending started ramping up. That's when I became the People's Whale, and people started donating for me to get all the new characters powered up nice and early so we could test them and figure out crazy stuff like the X Factor vid that I just put out. Year 2, there were no breaks on the Khasino approaching Kraken level status train. I spent in total, including the first year as well, by the end of my second year, I was at $18,412.69. Yeah, I just kind of went crazy in the second year. And yet somehow that does not hold a candle to where we are at in year 3. Here it is. As of 3 years playing Marvel Strike Force, I have spent $38,000, 79 additional dollars and 30 cents. Or as it's known in a lot of places, a nice car's worth of money on Marvel Heroes. So that's a thing. I'm sure I'll get roasted in the comments for that. That is quite a bit of money. So congratulations to Bloody Blah Blah for winning $200 by being the closest as far as his prediction for how much I've spent without going over. That's the kind of shenanigans we get up to over twitch.tv/Khasino, by the way, just making crazy bets and predictions on all sorts of stuff for absolutely no reason. Let me know what you think of my life choices in the video description below. Thank you guys very much for checking out this video. Thank you very much to Livepool for editing this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and reflect on your life choices, and I will see you guys real soon. Till next time. Hey! What?
What?
Dude, I spent all in my first year. Holy.
Yeah,
oh my god,
it's
got so much worse. Are you gentlemen ready?
Probably not, apparently.
Is that including today's spending?
Yes.
Oh,
how much was today's spending?
No comment. All right, let's head into DD4.